good morning, good morning, and welcome to another installment of Dear Deja, and welcome back to the Operation Heal 100 Hearts channel, where we discuss healing, humor, and hot topics. All right, let's get to this Dear Deja letter. While I'm getting to it, ladies and gentlemen, please, right now, go right at this very moment and hit the thumbs up, hit the like button. Also, if you're new to my channel, please subscribe and definitely stick around because I want to hear your feedback to this Dear Deja letter after I drop my commentary. So let's get it going, ladies and gentlemen. Alrighty, Dear Deja, I'm a 25-year-old biracial woman who just moved from Seattle to New York, which is like two totally different worlds. I was raised predominantly with my mother's side of the family, which is my black side. Love them dearly, but the main reasons I moved to New York is because of a wonderful career opportunity and to be closer to and get to know my dad. My Caucasian family is crazy. They're very outspoken and animated. I've enjoyed my stay here thus far. I started my new job as soon as I arrived in New York. I love what I do, but there was an incident with a staff member that has really raised some eyebrows at me, and I'm struggling with how to handle it. There's a lot of black women at my job, and they all seem to be very connected. I guess in an effort to try and connect with me, one of them began bragging to one of our male coworkers how mostly black women work here and how we run this agency. And in the middle of her braggadocious rant, I corrected her and announced I'm not solely black, I'm biracial. A few more times I've had to let more colleagues know that I'm mixed as well. A couple of days ago, I got into a verbal sparring match with one colleague in the break room because she called me an Oreo. I've been told the debate was reported to HR and I have to meet with them this upcoming week. I don't know how to move forward with this. I don't want to be the black woman screaming left and right, don't forget I'm white too, but I also am very proud of my Caucasian side and I don't want to denounce it either. Please send me some feedback and more importantly, some advice. Signed, just a girl with the best of both worlds. Oh, wow. Okay. Okay, I can definitely. All right. Okay, girlfriend. All right, all right, all right, all right. Um, Let me take these glasses off so I can get it going. Let's run it from the top. Let's run it from the top. First of all, I love the fact that you're proud of both sides of your family, right? That's not a bad thing. That is not a bad thing. It's just a little it's not traditional, right? It's not traditional because most times from what my experience is when I've met biracial women, they more lean in to their black side. So, like, case in point, it's like, okay, I was raised with my Caucasian mom, but I'm really more, I've experienced when I've met mixed women that they more leaned in to their black side, right? So I think that that's kind of what probably throws people off because most times, I feel like people, black people, of course, even if you're half black or 100% black, it's a pride. You have a sense of pride about being black, which is a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. I'm actually one of the women who take pride in being a black woman, right? Again, it's a beautiful, beautiful thing. So I don't knock that, right? But, my dear, let me just say to you, it's quite all right for you to be proud of being Caucasian as well. It's who you are and it's where you come from. So let's scale back a little bit, right? I know you said that your mom's side of the family is the black side, right? And you grew up with them and so on and so forth. My question would be first, which do you favor more? Do you favor your mom's side or do you favor your dad's side? I think it might be your mom's side because it sounds like they mistakenly took you for black initially without even asking. Like that's the only contribution you have to yourself, that you were black. I think that they didn't know that you were also Caucasian. So my question would be one, do you kind of favor both or do you look more predominantly black, right? Or predominantly white, right? Secondly, I wonder the delivery. I wonder about the delivery. I'm being honest, I wonder about the delivery. Because I almost got the impression that them not including the fact that you are Caucasian as well offended you. And I think when you went to deliver the fact that, hey, no, I'm biracial, it didn't come across like, hey, just let me let you know that's inaccurate. It came across like, wait a minute, girl, you got it wrong. And again, I could be wrong. I wasn't there, right? I'm just saying that the way your letter described it, it seemed like you were offended that they only took you to be black, and you wanted to make it clear that no, there's another side of me, and you guys are gonna acknowledge that. Which, I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't want to say that is offensive. And you know why I don't want to say it? Because I feel like if it was in reverse, it wouldn't be offensive, right? So I feel like if you were being mistaken for white and you were correcting folks and letting them know, no, I'm mixed, I'm biracial, I'm black as well, it would be looked at like, yeah, girl, rep the set, that's right, let them know, you know. I think it's only being viewed this way because you're repping the other set, which is your Caucasian side. I talked about this in the past. And not necessarily race, right? I've talked about staying true to self. Because I'm very, very, very big on staying true to self. You are who you are because that's who God designed you to be, right? That's the long and the short of it. You had no control over who procreated together to make you, right? But luckily, you have your mom, you have your dad, no matter what race they are, right? You have them. It seems as though you have a good relationship with your dad now that you're here in New York. It seems like you have an excellent relationship growing up with your mom, right? That's a beautiful thing. It's okay to want to represent where you from and who you are no matter where you go. Let me say that again. It's okay to want to represent who you are and where you're from no matter where you go. You know, I've worked at jobs where there have been West Indians. I'm half Panamanian. You know, I've worked with black people. I've worked with white people. I've worked with Hispanic people. I now work with a Peruvian woman. Shout out Olinda. You know what I'm saying? So folks come in and they represent their culture. They represent where they're from. They bring their background to the table, and we use that as one of their gifts to now contribute to what we're all doing. Who you are and who God put together to procreate you is your gift. And if being Caucasian and being black is who you are, it's okay to want to represent that. And not one over the other. It's okay to represent both. You know, I don't think your issue is in representing both, because I think that you like to represent who you are, and I think you want to make it clear who you are, which I can appreciate from your letter. I think the only thing that we're working on is not so much, oh, you know, I can't announce who I am, I have to denounce it. No, I don't think that's it. I don't even think that's why HR wants to speak to you. I think HR wants to speak to you because you're delivering. Because I can't imagine, correct me if I'm wrong, you guys drop down in the comments and please correct me if I'm wrong. I can't imagine if I work in HR, a staff member coming to me saying, listen, I mistakenly shared the identity of one of our colleagues and they redirected me. So what's the problem in that? The race, rather, not the ethnicity, the race. What's the problem in somebody redirecting you if you're saying that they're one race and they're sharing with you is multifaceted, right? Like what's the problem with that? So as a person working in HR, I would be looking at the person like, what you want me to do with that? The only thing they did was correct you. I think the issue came into play because maybe your tone might have offended the folks that you were correcting. And because your tone offended them, they went to HR with that. They may have used that you were aggressive. They may have used that you were disrespectful. I don't know. I'm just giving you examples. Because I can't see HR wanting to even pick this up as something they should want to meet with you on if there is no validity to what they're saying. And it's nothing wrong with you correcting a person if they say something that's incorrect about you. Right? So if somebody comes up to me and says, hey, let me introduce you to Khadijah. She's a teacher here. I'm not a teacher in a school. I don't teach. That's not my role in the schools. So it's okay for me to say, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. No, no, no. I'm the director of family and community. Like, I can explain what I do. What would be the harm in me sharing with the person they're giving incorrect information and I'm just correcting them? Right? I think the issue more so will come into play is the way I correct them. And granted, it's a sticky situation because you may not have meant to be offensive and you may not have meant any harm in correcting them, but I think that, again, they still took it how they still took it, which is how it got to HR. Another reason why I'm almost sure it was about your delivery is because you said that, what did you say you got into? Let me look at it, what you said you got into. You said you got into a verbal sparring match. That's different from saying, dear Deidre, I had a conversation with a coworker and let them know I'm biracial, right? A verbal sparring match would suggest to me you got into an argument with a person about your race. And once again, I think that you may have initiated the argument because you were trying to correct them. And I think that in your argumentative tone, it may have offended the coworker. So they said, you know what? HR, y'all need to holler at this one here because it's getting ready to go down in the DM, okay? Okay. Right? So let's go there. We're going to take race out of it because I think you might be a little sensitive about it because maybe you do look predominantly black. And maybe it is offensive for you to people to just totally assume that you're black when no, I want to embrace my Caucasian side as well. So I guess maybe that might offend you. So when it happens, you're automatically on the defense because you don't want that side to be forgotten about and you don't want people to not include that when they speak about you. Girl, that's fine. That's totally 100% fine. Again, I'll give my own personal example. That's just like when people say my name wrong, right? I think that when I correct them, because I'm already defensive about you mispronouncing my name, that my tone is very, very authoritative in the way I correct you. So now the person is looking like, my bad, bitch. You know what I'm saying? That makes sense? So instead of it being like somebody saying to me, oh, let me introduce you to Khadijah. Instead of me being like, hey, how you doing? It's Khadijah. It's more so like, hey, let me introduce you to Khadijah. Khadijah. Ooh. You okay? You know what I'm saying? And that right there, that tone is what changes what takes place in a situation, if that makes sense, right? So once again, if you're getting into a verbal sparring match, I can almost guarantee you that you are being viewed as, being aggressive and being argumentative, and because of that offended the colleagues. And I want to say this, I honestly also think HR wants to speak to you because I don't think that you only offended one colleague. I think it's been quite a few, which is how it got to HR's level. Right? So I definitely want to prep you for this upcoming week because I don't want you to walk into the HR office on a defense that they're addressing you about not being able to correct folks about where you come from, your ethnic background, so on and so forth. I don't think that's what the issue is going to be. I think the issue is going to be in an effort to correct them, you have offended them. And I think you offended them by being very argumentative and very aggressive in your correction. Again, I'm going to use the example I just used for you with my name. I get it. Hi, let me introduce you to Khadijah. Khadijah! Ooh, my bad, bitch. You know what I'm saying? When it could have gone, hi, let me introduce you to Khadijah. Hi, nice to meet you. It's Khadijah. Go on, girl. You know what I'm saying? That's a totally different tone than the first time. So at that point, if you're offended because I corrected you when my tone clearly was safe, then I don't know what to tell you. But if I'm already defensive because I feel like you're going to mispronounce my name, or you've done it in the past, or somebody else here has done it already, I am going to come out way more aggressive than I would normally. And if you got into a verbal sparring match with a colleague and prior to that you already corrected another colleague, I think them colleagues got together and went to HR on your ass. And not because we don't want to let folks know that you're biracial. We just didn't know that by not letting them know, we were offending you so much. And the reason why we know now is because the way you corrected us made us feel offended. So let me know. I really want to know if I'm landing a plane here, because once again, I don't want you to lose opportunity. You said that, you just got this job, you really like this job, you want to be there, you're here with your family, and things are working out for you. I don't want you to let a mishap that can be corrected in a proper way be what hinders you from continuing at this job. So, let's run it from the top. My first suggestion would be, try not to think about, when you go into the meeting with HR, try not to think about the whole race component of it, right? Try not to think about that, because I honestly do not feel like, forget about if that's what they were intending to do. I honestly don't even think HR would, consider meeting with you if it was just about, oh, you don't want her correcting you because you're saying, no, that we're not picking that up. We're not addressing her on that, because what did she do wrong? I think when it was shared with HR, it was shared that you may be a tad bit aggressive and argumentative as a new staff member. And they would like that behavior corrected. And that's what HR is going to do, because that's their job. Right? So you might be going in to sit with HR to discuss, hey, there's been a complaint and we want to know what's going on. Right? And in those moments, because you're not hopefully being defensive about it being a race issue, you can, number one, be honest and address your behaviors. Because that's another thing. If you walk in and pretend as though you don't understand what you did wrong, it may, settle some alarms with the company, because if more than one staff member is coming to us about something that you did and you're totally oblivious that you did it, I don't know if this is going to work for you, right? And remember, you're new. So I think the first step in going into is taking the emotional, taking the feelings out of it because of the whole race piece. And just thinking about, I'm coming in to talk about the way I handled the situation, which was, it sounds like, no shade, sweetie, it sounds like you were aggressive and argumentative. And again, I wasn't there to say that's the case, but your letter did indicate that you got into a verbal sparring match. So I don't think you would have used that verbiage if it wasn't an argument. And I don't think, from what you explained, that the other person initiated the argument. It sounds like you initiated it because you felt offended that they didn't remind folks that you were biracial. And I totally get it, and there's nothing wrong with correcting folks, because once again, we should all be able to take who we are everywhere we go. So I'm not saying to you not to represent your Caucasian side. I'm not saying not to be proud of who you are. I'm not saying not to correct folks when they don't include that when they describe you or introduce you. But what I am saying is, it's a way to do that where you don't offend everybody around you. And I just gave you the example. Hi, let me introduce you to Khadija. Khadija! Ooh. My bad, bitch. But if, my tone is different. Hi, let me introduce you to Khadija. Hi, nice to meet you. It's Khadija. You understand what I'm saying? So in those moments, it would have the other person become apologetic, like, oh, I'm sorry, I pronounced it wrong. It's okay. We all make mistakes. And moving right along. See how I was able to still correct the person, but in a tone that wouldn't suggest I'm being threatening or argumentative? But if you are correcting 45 people at the job and getting into a verbal sparring match when you're supposed to be getting your coffee, that might settle some alarms at this new job that you claim that you love. And sweetie, I want you to be able to stick around and, continue to do the work that you love and that you came to New York for, right? But taking accountability and being able to mature in this moment could really be what makes or breaks you at this company. And it could also be what helps you grow. So I think when you walk into the meeting with the emotions outside of it regarding, you being biracial, just being able to address that your behaviors might have been a tad bit off because, you got a little heated in the moment because of what took place. Right? Another reason why I said that I think you might need to be honest about what took place, because number one, the list they already know 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 people already came and told them that's why they're meeting with you. And only 2 things can come from you lying. One, it will look like you're oblivious to your behaviors, and that is scary for any agency. We don't want to hire a person that's not aware of the way they may show up, because remember, you're representing the company. So if you go somewhere and act a damn fool and somebody come back and tell us, and then you're like, I didn't even do anything, that's dangerous for the company. So if you go in there and you are oblivious to what you have done, that's going to set off alarms. If you're defensive about what you've done when to some degree you're in the wrong as well, that's going to set off alarms. If you lie about what you did, that's going to set off alarms. If you lie, you steal. We don't want no thieves at this company. Right? So I think, my dear, I think you got it. I think you got it. I think you got emotional and you got in your feelings because of everything taking place. You grew up with your mom's side of the family. You embraced that side of the family. You love that side of the family. But you're now on a journey to get to know the other side. Right? And I think you're so adamant about your journey that you don't want to have a misstep. And, not acknowledging that other side of you while on your journey for you seems like it's a misstep, so you're trying to correct everybody everywhere you go. That's okay. 100%. It's just the manner in which you do it so that you don't offend others. And if you're going to be argumentative and combative when you correct them, you're going to offend them, and it's never going to end well. You don't want to spend the rest of your life arguing about who you are. You just want to go out and be that person. Okay, so listen, I'm prayerful. I'm gonna drop this, dear Deidre, first thing tomorrow morning because I don't know when your meeting is and I don't want you to miss this feedback. And also, I want to provide the opportunity for you to come. If let's just say your meeting is Thursday and you need an Operation Hill 100 Hearts 101 session, we can do a Zoom as early as tomorrow. After I drop the video, you let me know and we'll make it happen. Because I want you to get the feedback if it's conducive to you, if it will help you with the situation, and also if you're going to need steps, you're going to need tools, right? Because I can tell you not to be emotional about it, but that's just me talking. Also, I'm not the person that this is happening to. So of course I can sit here and say, hey, take your feelings out of it. If it was that easy, you wouldn't be writing this letter. So you may need some more tools than what I was able to give in the letter, because again, this is all that I have. We may need to have a one-on-one session so I can properly give you some more tools for your tool belt so you can walk in a meeting equipped and more importantly, not lose your opportunity at a job you shared that you love. Okay, so all right. I really appreciate this, dear Deidre. I really appreciate this, dear Deidre, because this is the first time I've had a situation like this. So I really appreciate it because whenever I could, tackle a situation that I've never tackled before, it lets me know how much I'm growing in the work that I do. So thank you so much for writing in. Ladies and gentlemen, as always, drop down in the comments. What's your feedback? Do you have another feeling about what this young lady is growing through? Do you feel like I provided adequate feedback? If not, let me know. If so, let me know. Once again, I don't delete and I don't debate. Drop your comments. I want to hear all your feedback. Please make sure to like the video. Y'all get me in the algorithm for free. Like the video. Also, if you're new here, please subscribe to my channel. All my new subbies, I'm happy to see y'all. I love y'all. Make sure y'all check out all the content. And as always, see you soon.